Hello, welcome to another episode of Brain Cancer Cyclist. Today we're going to take off my Optune device, ready to demonstrate that, and then afterwards, here in a little bit, my wife's going to demonstrate putting it back on my head. So hopefully you'll learn something. Hopefully you might catch some tidbits and some things you might be able to do in your own life working with the Optune and the arrays. Okay, all right, so we're gonna start taking this off now. As you can see, my wife took off my skull cap, and now she's gonna take off the little netting that we put on. I didn't start using the netting at first. I just started using it because it helps support the cables and the wires up here. And I really got to the point where I really like using the netting. So I would recommend using the netting if you can. Now she's gonna just take it off of my head. I've had it on for 4 days. We put it on Sunday evening, and it's Thursday evening now. I probably should have changed it out last night, but my wife wasn't feeling too well. I didn't want to have to try to. I didn't want her to have to try to put it back on my head when she wasn't feeling well. So I went an extra day. We'll put it back on tonight on Thursday. Then Saturday we have some plans. Spend some time with my daughter and my son-in-law over in the Kansas City area. So I'll take it off Saturday morning and I'll go the day without it. What we can do is supposed to be on your head for 75% of the time for the month. When I first got it, I figured I would just go from 4 to 10 without it on. But when I received it, I was told that I could bank up hours and store hours. So I try to take it off once a day for the whole day, and it gives me a relief. As you can see, my head, it kind of leaves some, it's really itchy, kind of leaves some indentations on my head. But those will go away. Saturday night, they'll pretty much be gone. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it's off. These are kind of slimy and definitely left them on too long this time. There's like a little, I don't even know what it is, a little gel type thing coming out of them. That's interesting. I didn't know that was in there. So probably will not go this long without
Usually
changing.
it's sticky when I put it on. It's a sticky gel,
Oh, okay.
but I think your sweat has broke it down.
Okay. Hope you heard that. My wife said it's a sticky gel when she puts it on my head. But she thinks my sweat may have broken that gel down a little bit, kind of made it kind of nasty. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, slimy now.
So if you know what it is, if you wear the Optune and you know what it is, throw a comment in the comment section. We could all learn something today. I'm not facing any sores or anything. I've only had one sore so far. That's when we left it on too long, and uh, one of the eraser had come off, and it kind of burned my head just a little bit during the middle of the night. So it woke me up, and I ripped it off my head. And I'm sorry, I keep scratching, but man, my head really itches. So in just a little bit, we will show the putting of the arrays back on. Okay, so I've changed shirts. It's kind of funny because after we took the arrays off a while ago, we decided to go out to eat. So we went and ate some Mexican food here in Lawrence, really good stuff. So now what we're going to do is my wife's going to shave my head. She's going to kind of talk her way through, explain what she's doing. She's going to apply some stuff to my head. Then take a break, go take a shower. And I will not film that. Don't worry. And then we'll come back and then she'll demonstrate putting the arrays on my head. Okay.
This is the shaver that they gave us with the Optune. So we just use that. You gotta go in little circles and get all the little stubble. I always kind of have to get close to his ears because they according to the diagram they want the Optune like right down into his ears.
And I'm sure everybody's diagram is just a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it actually feels really good. I was bald to begin with. I used to shave my head all the time. Not this close, but I would shave my head. As a matter of fact, the surgeon joked with me before he took before he did the brain surgery, was that at least one good thing he didn't have to shave my head, which was good, I guess. So being bald is nothing new for me. I know that's a big struggle for a lot of people.
So just to help my husband out, I also do the back of his neck because he normally shaves there anyway. I like to start low and work my way up. Seems to work best. Because you're kind of moving against the grain of the hair. And you're coming upward in the circles, which I have found works best. I always try to be careful right here with his scar because I'm always afraid I'm going to push too hard or something and hurt him. So far, he hasn't complained, so it's I haven't pushed too hard yet. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting older, so my eyesight isn't always the greatest. So I like to take and feel his head a little bit just to make sure it feels nice and smooth and I got everything.
Then I'll go through and I'll check and I'll just kind of feel and make sure there's nothing that's too long. Obviously the shorter she gets my hair, the easier it is for me to take the arrays off. I've never had any problems pulling the arrays off. She does a really good job of getting very close to my head, and I've never really pulled any hair out, so that's really nice. Thank you.
And so then the next thing that we do is he was getting flaky skin and dry patches on his head. In fact, he's got some flakes right here. You can see there's little flakes of skin there that I'm wiping off of him there.
You think that's because I left them on?
No,
for so long?
it just the stuff is drying your skin out.
Okay.
Because it's been doing that even when we were changing him more often. So I bought him this, and I checked with the Optune people, and they said he could use it. I noticed it's backwards in the video, so it's called Soapbox Scalp Soother. It's a pre-shampoo rinse out. So I'll rub this in his head, massage it in his head, and then when he takes his shower, he'll use the Aveeno baby shampoo and wash it off. And so then it doesn't cause any problems with the arrays, but it moisturizes his skin enough to where he's not getting those big dry patches anymore. And it's all natural. It's just tea tree oil, juniper berry oil, and avocado oil. Um, so yeah, I'll just put
So
some.
where'd you get that?
I got this actually at the local farmers market. It is locally made. But I do believe she has stuff on her website. If you just Google soapbox, I'm pretty sure it'll come up.
So this is one of my favorite parts of this Optune is that when my wife massages my head with this oil. I'm just being honest here.
It also helps me. I'm checking his head the whole time I'm doing this too, looking for red spots, sore places.
Now I've used Optune for 2 months now, and like I said earlier, I've only had one sore spot, one burn spot, I should say. That was because an array came off in the middle of the night and burned me. And it wasn't even that bad. So Yeah, so I think what we've got going here is pretty good. I would recommend anybody use the same um, things that we're using. Kind of take the same steps. That Aveeno baby shampoo, it's amazing. Um, I used to use well, I still use for everything else, but the Irish Spring 5-in-1. Um, and so, but the Aveeno baby shampoo has really helped, and I think that really helps with the Optune as well, keeping my head safe. And last thing I want is to have several stores. I know I've seen a lot of folks that have had several stores and have had to stop using the Optune for several weeks while their head's healed. Thankfully, I haven't had to do that yet, but you never know. Okay.
So now he'll just wait about 5 minutes and then take a shower. Okay, so while Rob's taking a shower, I'm getting everything ready in order to put his Optune device back on. I've got his map, diagram of where to put everything. I put that on the table. I've got his arrays. And then over here on the tray behind him, I've got his mesh, and I've got a little thing here with my tapes and the skin prep that we use right here, and scissors and things. I've got everything in a little basket. I get the basket out when we go to do this, so I've got everything all in one spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and get his arrays ready while he's taking a shower. Let's scooch this up a little bit if it'll let me. There we go. So I'm gonna get his arrays ready while he's in the shower. Um, so what I do is I'll go ahead and open these up. And I know everyone has a different way of doing it probably, but I like to go ahead and take the twist ties off. I have some arthritis in my fingers, so getting the twist ties off can take a little bit of time, so I like to do that ahead of time. And then I'll take the array, and for his head, his head isn't like, if you've noticed, his head's a little more of an oblong than it is a flat round. So it usually works best if I go ahead and cut right here. See, here's where the array comes out. So right here and right here on both of these sides. Usually works much better when I'm trying to put it on his head. If I go ahead and cut those two places, so I can overlap it a little bit when I put it on his head. So I'll have everything out and ready before he comes out. I will also cut um, 4 pieces of white tape and 4 pieces of the brown tape. So when we first got the Optune, they said to also cut on either side of this white piece. Rob doesn't like that. He says it comes up too high and he feels like it's pulling. So I do not do that. The reason I cut 4 pieces of this tape is because after I put this on his head, I'm going to actually tape this down so it's more secure. And I cut 4 pieces of the white tape for the cords. So I just wanted to tell you what I do while he's in the shower. I get everything ready. And like I said, I keep all this stuff that I need in a basket ready so that all I gotta do is pull the basket out and it's got all this stuff. He also has a couple of creams that the doctor went ahead and prescribed him just in case he gets sores. One's just like a muprosian ointment, Read that there. And then the other one is a topical solution. So, but I have not had to use any of this yet, but I do keep it in the same basket with my tapes, my scissors, and the skin prep.
Okay, shower's done. Now Susie's gonna apply the arrays. And if when we're going through this video, when you're watching, if you, like I said earlier, if you have any tips, throw them in the comments. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. And then, like I said, any tips, anything you can suggest to us. Obviously, we've only been doing this for 2 months. I know a lot of people have been doing it for longer. But we're just showing what works for us. And like I said, I've only had one burn and no sores really. So I'm very pleased with how we're doing this, and very pleased with my wife, Susie, taking care of all this. And she's just amazing to have support. So, okay, we're going to start with applying the arrays now. Oh, she's going to start applying the arrays now.
So first I used the skin prep. In the beginning, I was only using one prep pad for his whole head. We were having some trouble with the arrays as far as sticking. So then I started using 2 skin prep pads for his head. They're pretty cheap. They're not very expensive.
Where do you get those from?
Amazon. They're on Amazon.
Are they just called skin prep pads?
No, it's read the box. They are Smith and Nephew skin prep protective wipes.
Not to be confused with Smith and Wesson.
Yeah. So I basically divide his head in half here, and I use one wipe for one side, and then one wipe for the other side. Try and get the whole head, because this it puts on a protective coating to help protect his skin as well as help stick the arrays down.
And I can say that, like, right now I must have a sore or something over here, because when she that really stung when she took that.
That same spot that you burnt before, it's still a little bit red.
So where I burnt several weeks ago, she said it's still a little red. So when she went over it with the pad, it stung a little bit. I mean, it wasn't anything very painful, but I just want you to be aware that if you use these, there might be some stinging over sores or some burns.
Now, if you want, when we talked to the doctor about that burn, she said we could use the topical solution if you would like.
No, we're fine for what we have. It didn't hurt that bad. I mean, it just stung.
Okay.
Kind of reminded me it was there. That's all.
So now we've got the skin prep on, and I don't know if they told you the rhyme when you first got your arrays, black in the front and the back, white on the left and the right.
It always starts with the front of my head. Going by the diagram that they gave us. And this is the point where I have to sit really still, which is very difficult for me.
So on the first page, we drew a line down here so you can see which side of the nose the center dot is supposed to be, kind of on that side. But even though it's on the table, usually I wind up coming up and doing this just to make sure I've got the right side. So it's this side of the nose that I have to put it up to. So I went ahead and took the center dot out so I have a place to stick to start with, and then I'll pull the other 2 sheets off. So if I get it wrong, I'm on video getting it wrong. So, or even right here, come up. Looks good. He doesn't like them straight up. That's always giving him problems when they're straight up. So I usually try to put them to one side or the other. I'm going to put them to this side this time because I had it on the other side last time. So a little bit to that side.
And the straight up, the reason I don't like them is I don't like the cords coming out from the very top. And it always seems when we do that, I always seem to have problems with the cords and especially the old-fashioned telephone cord.
So I usually stick the bottom down first. It's just my preference. And then I'll pull the top one, stick it down. So the cuff that I was telling you about right here, what I do is you want to make sure if you overlap that you don't overlap on the array, on the metal piece, just on the kind of Band-Aid type material. So I'll overlap a little bit right there so it lays flatter, and over here so it lays a little bit flatter. And that way we're not puckering so much. We're kind of puckering in the front this time, but not too bad.
And that is really stuck to my head.
Yeah.
With those pads she wipes my head with the stickiness of the arrays, it's really stuck to my head. I can
Move
feel.
forward for a second. So you can see we're not overlapping on top of the metal at all. We're just overlapping on the little Band-Aid piece there, on the Band-Aid material stuff here. Whatever you want to call it.
I like Band-Aid material.
Yeah.
But it seems,
It reminds me of the Cure Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter's an artist. I'm thinking about having her like draw some designs on these sometime. I don't know, it's something different.
Then I go to the left. I use the ear as a marker. I'm sure you guys do too. I come up from this part of the ear up here. And you see how it lays behind the ear in his diagram? So it's got to go behind his ear. I like the front and the sides because there's markers. The back is the one that always makes me nervous because there's no landmarks. I'm just going to do it all the same way I did before. I'm going to get that center on there first. Flip this over my shoulder. Get the center on here first. Make sure it's down here on his ear. And it lines up. Press that on there. And before I press it down, though, I want to make sure that we're good. And we are, because I'm not going to be overlapping on the metal. I'll overlap on the Band-Aid part, but not on the metal. So we're fine. And then again, I'll pull the bottom and put that stuck down first, and I'll pull the top. Easier down. Top piece. Back down. Okay. And then I'll jump over to the other side before I do the back. I'll do the back last. Because I kind of use the right and left arrays as a landmark for where to put that back one.
They feel good.
Like I said before, I do the center first, then I do the bottom, and then I do the top. Toss it over my shoulder. Taking them all to the left this time. So this closer this way. Yeah, I always measure to make sure I'm not going to overlap on the metal piece. All right, now for the back one. So for the back, like I said, I kind of use the other arrays as kind of landmarks because I'm going to be overlapping on this side just a little bit on the right side, but not on the left. So that's kind of what I use since there's no real landmarks back here.
Like your turn.
If you want to, yeah. You need to come out a little bit so I can get up there. Yeah. Okay. Your back is what I normally. Okay, so this side over here, this side we're going to overlap a little bit. And we're turning them all this direction, so. In front of the camera, sorry. Okay. Now they're all stuck on there. Now I'm going to use the brown tape. I just cut a little tiny piece, see? And then since he doesn't like these coming up and pulling, what I do is I'll push it down and I'll just go ahead and tape it down a little more for him. And then it doesn't come up on him. Because he does not like that. He doesn't like that feeling. So.
That's just a personal thing.
Yeah, it's a personal thing. It's not something they told us to do. But you only want to use the brown tape because that tape is safe for your skin. Don't ever use the white tape on your skin. And always be careful that you don't put any of the brown tape on the metal pieces of the arrays. Like this one's a little difficult because the array's right there. So I'm going to kind of tape it a little different and hope for the best. Okay, now I've got all the cords back here. So the reason we do 4 pieces instead of 3 is because we do 2 pieces up here to secure the cords. So they're not flopping everywhere. He really likes his cords to be secure. So, because it's easier for him, it feels better. So that's what we like to do. Let's see, we've got him like right up here at the top right here.
And everybody has their own preferences.
They do.
This is just what I like. And so I've, just trial and error. I'll go several days with it a certain way. I'm like, no, I like the way you did it before. And then she goes back and she does it again. So it's, like I said, you do you, and However it feels good for you, then that's what I would suggest to do. This is just what we do.
So I kind of cut this a little long. So this is where we put the mesh on because everything's all nice and taped down and flat looking. So this is where we put the mesh on. I try to cut it a little long because you can always take some off. You can always trim it down, but you can't add more to it. So I'd rather it be a little long and then cut it down than have it too short. And this is where I'll have him help me pull it down over his head where he wants it. So I can measure better. And I cut it way too long this time. So you like it about here, right? Get it all the way down your forehead where you want it first. But you need to pull more.
Remember the movie Signs where they made those tinfoil hats? That's what I just reminded me of.
So this time I cut it way too long. I'm not sure why I did that. So about here, right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I have to trim it, I'll just cut a little spot so I can get the scissors inside, and then I'll cut it around. I don't want to accidentally cut the cords. So there we go. Line this off. And save it. We might use something else. I usually don't cut it that long.
And I wear a skull cap a lot most of the time. So the skull cap really keeps this from coming up, and it helps. It really helps.
Put another piece of tape up here. So last time we didn't.
They can't see.
Oh. Put another piece of tape like right here. The last time we did not weave them together. How was that?
It seemed like the case that went over those it kept coming down. I don't know. It was
Okay, so you want to twist it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know that takes more work.
No, it's fine.
It just
before your case was like kinking up a lot, and I thought it was because it was being twisted. So we tried it without it, and it didn't seem to help. So we're gonna go ahead and twist it. We just take 2 and 2, and like this, and twist them together. They called it braiding. I'm not sure if you'd really call this braiding, but
I've been bald for almost 15, 16 years, so there's no braiding where I'm coming from.
so that everything's even down below, what I like to do is match up the barcodes. So I'll match up the barcodes, and I'll put a piece of tape over the top of the barcodes. Already having everything cut ahead of time makes it so much easier because you don't have to stop and put things down and cut things. So that's just my preference. I think it makes things a lot simpler that way to have them already cut. So then I've got a little bulge here. So I will kind of press that down, and then that's where my final piece of tape goes to hold that down. Okay. Angle here. So I've got the cover. So I'll plug those in. And it's either all the exact same length because I put that tape on the barcode. Here's your telephone cord.
Sure. You know, you would think for as much as this costs each month, they would come up with a different cord. I don't know. Maybe that's, I don't know.
I see it zips up really nice. Everything's all the tape. See that second piece of tape I put on here is pretty even with the where the zipper started. And then that just kind of helps it stay there. Gives it a little more.
So my 22-year-old daughter was helping do this one day, about a month or so ago. And when I plugged it in, when my wife finished with it, my daughters learned how to do it. And I plugged it into this thing. I told my daughter to turn it on for me. I said, there's a switch on the bottom, turn it on. And as soon as she turned it on, I went, like that. And she's like, it scared her, but she's like, Dad, why would you do that? But it was so funny. Oh, I loved it. She didn't like it too well, but all right, now I'm back to my blue light until Saturday morning about 7 o'clock. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks for spending some time with us. Hope you found this informative. Leave us comments, suggestions, whatever you'd like to do. Thanks for watching. Thanks.